Hi everybody, welcome to Sugar Glider Diaries. I'm Kimberly and I'm going to create a bonding video log for my experience with bonding with Balcy. Maybe I'll call it Bonding with Balcy, the journey, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put together a little compilation of clips. Today is February 27th and I'm gonna do just little video clips of me bonding with Balcy just to show some progress and talk about that. Every sugar glider is so different, and so I think that's why I'm wanting to do one of just Balcy. I have 3 sugar gliders, and they're all there's different levels of bonding, and I'll do another video on that. They're all bonded in the sense that they all trust that I'm not gonna hurt them. They all take treats from me, they don't lunge at me, they don't bite. Well, I shouldn't say that. They don't constantly bite. He still does nip at me a little bit, and do exploration bites also, but anyway. So they're all pretty bonded. I have one, my Luna, that is really bonded. She wants to be with me basically every chance she gets now, which is just amazing. And that's just, she's always been pretty chill, so she's more trusting. Balcy is more skittish. And my Natiri is also a little bit more skittish, but she's kind of in the middle of them. So he's my biggest challenge, but he's really starting to warm up to me a little bit now that we've been able to do daily bonding time in their bra training pouch, which I have other videos on that as well if you look on my channel. So this is day one of it's not really day one, but day one of me documenting the next steps in our bonding together. So I'm going to try to accumulate some video clips and be able to share that with you. So hope you enjoy. Be sure to leave comments and ask questions and subscribe. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. So Balcy, I went to go peek in on them and they were all kind of sleeping except for Balcy heard my voice, and so he peeked his head out and was looking at me. So I thought, okay, he's interested in what I'm doing. So I popped him out of his bonding bag. He did not come to me on his own. I popped him out, put him on my arm, gave him some treats. He just got done eating some treats. And now we're just walking around. We're just building that bond and trust. I'm staying moving so he doesn't have a point of reference. He doesn't have some place he feels safe to jump to because we're continually moving. So, and he doesn't seem as panicky as he usually is. We also did this last night. So I'm trying to do this once a day with him at least, since he's my least bonded. And a lot of hand taming and bonding is just letting them know that you're safe and that when they're with you, only good things are going to happen. So they're not going to be worried that something might get them or something bad might happen. They need to know that you're safe. So just short interactions with them so that they know that every time it's always good. So treats are very good. So now I'm just kind of seeing what he wants to do. Trying not to jerk and talk loud or anything like that. He's pretty skittish, so. It's funny how each sugar glider has their own personality. Some of them are just naturally chill, and some of them are a little bit more anxious, just like people. So he's definitely on that more anxious side, but he's so sweet. And he's starting to like me, I think. He really likes treats, so if he can continue to associate time spent on me with adventure, which he also loves, and treats, I think we'll be golden. Yeah, huh, Balcy? Oh, Balky boy. That's what we're doing. That's right, that's what we're doing. Huh? Yeah. Oh, good boy. Mm-hmm. Oh, good boy. You good boy. You good boy. Mm-hmm. You good boy. Yeah. I did another video, if you haven't already seen it, on teaching your sugar glider not to jump off of you. This is just kind of a follow-up video to that. So I'll try to post, I'm still learning about this whole YouTube thing, but I'll try to post the link up above so that you can click on it right about now in the video if you want more detail. Yeah. For a long time, I really wanted just to see video of people interacting with their gliders so that I would know what to do, because I'm a visual learner. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do for you guys right now. Just to be able to see. It's hard to do with one hand though. That's the only bad thing about doing that, but it's all right. We're good to go. Oh, they're good boy. They're good boy. Yeah. I think I'm gonna let him, yep. I was gonna say, I'm gonna let him jump back to the cage. He likes to do that when we get close to the cage. And now I'm taking him from the cage. I'm gonna open up the door and I'm just gonna guide him with my hand. So I'm not grabbing him off. I'm just kind of gently pushing him and guiding him back into the cage. And then he went back into his sleeping pouch and he's good to go. So hopefully that's helpful. So a couple things from the video that I just did with Balky and I, where he just jumped to the cage. I said that he was peeking his head out of his bonding bag. I say that a lot. I didn't mean bonding bag, I meant his sleeping pouch. So he was in his cage, he saw me coming, or heard me coming, and then peeked his head out, so I knew he was interested in me, and he didn't retract and hide, so that's why he kind of initiated that interaction. And then the second note that I wanted to talk about is that I allow my sugar gliders to jump from me to their cage. I really want their safe places to be me and their cage. So you'll notice I was about this far away from his cage, and he was not confident that he could make the jump from me to there. But when I went closer, I knew that he was going to jump. I actually was trying to put my phone on one of these shelves or position it so that maybe you could see the jump a little bit better. But I knew that he was going to do that. So when I say I train them not to jump off of me, that's my one exception, is that I want them to feel comfortable with their cage and they know that that's their safe place. And it's also a little kind of a fun game they come to me and then they jump to their cage and then they come back to me and they jump to their cage. And I like to encourage that behavior as we get more and more bonded. Okay, so this is not ideal lighting at all. I usually do it with just a little lamp on, because obviously sugar gliders like it a little bit darker. But I thought I'd show you what I've been trying to do with Balky pretty much every night to get him to want to come to my arm. It's just now starting to work. I think I've done it maybe 5 times, maybe 4. But I hold treats, usually not mealie worms. This is like primo treat night because there's like 10 big fat ones. Ugh. I hate mealie worms. Like my number one gross out fear is centipedes. So this is a close, anyway, you gotta know how much I love my sugar gliders to be doing this. Anyway, I hold the treats to where he can see it, but then he has to climb on my arm to get one. And so I'm trying to teach him to come to me from the cage, to want to come to me, not just for me to force him to be with me like I do during the day. So that's what I'm gonna show you. We'll see how it goes. Also, I would not be doing this with all of them in the same case, you know, awake and alert and everything. I have the other 2 in my shirt because they all go totally crazy for mealie worms. So everybody would be trying to jump out, and I really want to focus on just him. So I also make that noise whenever I go to give him treats. I always make the same noise. Some people sing a song or, you know, whatever, but or like use a clicker. But the idea is the same, that they get used to associating that sound with they get a treat. I've done that just instinctively since they were really little. So I go, and then he knows that means treat. I'm going to show him what's in here so he's motivated. Ooh. So he grabs one, takes it, and then runs back to his cage. I know you probably can't see super great. I'm sorry. I don't have a videographer to record. Maybe I'll have my husband or sons come in here and do this sometime. I'm hoping that the next time that he comes that he will, I'm going to kind of inch my arm out a little bit further and further from the cage. I'm hoping he'll just perch on my arm and eat the treats. That's the hope. Right now he still grabs one and runs back sometimes. But after he's done a couple of them, he tends to stay on my arm. So we'll see if that works. It's really bright in here right now, so it may not work. But we'll see. Yeah, good. Coming back out. Okay, so he took it and went back. I had my arm out a little bit further that time. And so each time I'm going to kind of inch further and further out. I'm sorry if these videos are boring, but one of the biggest things, am I recording? Oh, I am recording. Okay, good. One of the biggest things that I really wanted to see when I was learning how to do this kind of stuff is people actually doing it. I ended up pretty much just figuring it out, a lot of it out on my own, just trial and error, but I really wanted someone to show me and I never really got that. So another thing too that I will talk to you about while I'm waiting for him is Tanya Johnson from Fairy Tale Gliders. She does live videos on Facebook of her interacting with her gliders, and that's helped me a lot too with figuring out how to hand tame gliders. She prides herself on breeding for temperament, so if you she doesn't have a YouTube channel, but on Facebook, Fairy Tale Gliders, Tanya Johnson. So definitely look her up if you want. She's a very, very experienced breeder. She has a lot of knowledge about sugar gliders. So it's okay, buddy. Come on. Okay, come on. Oh, so he is coming out further and further, but he's still jumping back. So we'll see. I may end up cutting this video short depending on if he just, you know, I'm supposed to be documenting the progress, right? So in theory, I should be able to then, in this video or another video, show you how much further along we are. This mosquito net tent, I got that. I'm doing another series of videos that I'm putting together about my Natiri, who is overweight, and I got this mosquito net tent not for me to be in there with them because, like I said in my other videos, that teaches them to jump off of you, but which I learned from Tanya Johnson, by the way. But I let them get in there just by themselves and play. However, what I discovered is when they've got a fresh nail trim, they can't grip on as good. Balcy was getting really frustrated last night when I put him in there because he couldn't grip on super good. So I need to maybe try trimming their nails a little bit less next time and wait another couple days until their nails grow out a tiny bit so they have more grip. Okay, come on, buddy. It's like, who are you talking to? You can do it. Yep. Okay, so now I'm gonna, oop. Stinker. He is so skittish. I was hoping I could get far enough away that he wouldn't want to jump back, but that's okay. He's still associating being on me and getting treats. So this next time I may give him one and try to stand up real quick. So if I stand up and get out of the frame, I'm sorry, but I'm just kind of making some of this stuff up as I go and just documenting it and seeing what works. So hopefully it benefits somebody. These mealie worms are so gross. So gross. But the gliders love them. I do not breed mealie worms. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't have a mealie worm farm. I have a sugar glider friend that supplies me with them. I can only handle having a small container in my house. The idea of having drawers full of them just is too much for me. Ugh. Okay, bud, come on. Come on. You can do it. Are you peeking your nose out the window? Come on. Come on. Shooty mealies. Come on. Yeah. It's okay. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, see what you're working for? Remember? Oh, come on. It's okay. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Let go. There's 1 foot on the cage. So sweet. He's just so nervous. It's okay. Yep. I know. It's okay, bud. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. You want those mealies? Look. Look how yummy they are. Look how yummy they are. Yeah, come on. Come on. Remember, when you're on mommy, good things happen. Oh, poor baby. You nervous? It's okay. Come on, sweet boy. Come on. Yep, remember, look. Ooh. Nope, 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 nope. It's okay, Balcy. It's okay. It's okay. Oop, oop. You're okay. You're okay. See, now I got him out away from the cage. That's the only place that he will jump, is the cage, because I am safe, but his cage is much safer to him. So now that I got him away from the cage, that was an effort. Now I'm gonna let him just sit here on me. He's actually sitting in my hand, which is so cute. And eat. Ooh. That's one of the girls in my bra pouch. She's in heat. That's the sound they make when they're in heat. A little known fact. The first time they made that noise, I recorded it and sent it to my breeder, who I mentioned in another video is an exotic vet. And they're like, oh yeah, one of them's in heat. It's like, oh, okay. Didn't know that. What a good boy. What a good boy. See, good things happen when you get to be with mama, huh? Good things happen when you get to be with Mama. Yeah. This is going to be the longest video diary ever. I might have to make it into multiple parts. Yes, I might have to. This might be the last part, even though it's only day 1. I don't know what I'm going to do. When they eat mealie worms, just so you know, they suck the insides out, kind of. They chew up and suck the insides out, and then they spit out the skins. I've seen people on Facebook groups saying, oh my gosh, I fed my sugar gliders mealie worms and then they were throwing up. But they're not throwing up. They're actually just spitting out the skin part that they don't want. So don't worry, they're not throwing up when they're eating mealie worms. If they're eating other food and it's coming, you know, it's like they actually look like they're throwing up, then they need to go to a vet. But when they're doing mealie worms, they spit out the skin. Mealie worms are a more healthy snack for sugar gliders than like yogis and sugary treats too. So I finally broke down and decided to get some. I didn't want to get them from the pet store. I've heard nightmares stories about that, about them being in conditions with mold or being fed the wrong thing and getting their sugar gliders sick. So I waited until I had a good source of them. And I also didn't want to order a ton of them. So having somebody that I know get them. I know that you can get them. I think they're called rainbow worms or something like that. It's like an online bug ordering service. And I've heard really good things about them too. I just didn't do that because I assumed that I'd have to buy more than what I wanted. I don't know. I probably assumed wrong. But so now he's done. So now I'm going to see what he does. I'm curious to see where he goes because we're not moving. It is nighttime. He is very alert, not drowsy at all. During the day when I'm holding him, when he's on me, he doesn't jump off of me because he's docile during the day. But now we're at nighttime where he's been up for a good half an hour at least. So usually when I'm holding him at nighttime, I'm walking around with him. And now I'm not walking, I'm just sitting still. So we'll see what he decides to do. This will be a little experiment. Good, he's going back to his safe zone that I've taught him to do, which is excellent. Good job, buddy. They have to stay on my chest, my shoulder, or my arms. I don't let them go down on my legs. I don't let them go on my back. Trying to move this so you guys can see him. You're good. You're good. You're okay. Okay, I'm gonna put him back in the cage because this is very successful and I want him to only have positive rememberings of this encounter. You're fine, buddy. Say good job. Good job. He is coming along. He's come a long way in the last few months, that's for sure. Jump. Yeah, good boy. Good doggy boy. Okay, it's been documented.